Hey everybody, welcome back to Just Blaze More Birth Me Code. I'm recording this at 8:45 on Thursday night because I have been a shit show for the last couple weeks. It's not that I haven't wanted to play games, it's just like I felt like absolute crap. Today I actually took off of work so that I could sleep mostly for the day, which was fucking fantastic. I also took a bunch of medicine, so hopefully like once that wears off when I go to bed, that will not be the end of me. But anyway, I am excited to do stuff. I'm really sad. I want to play more Bug Fables. I want to play more Paradise Killer. And I want to play more of this. So I'm thinking maybe tomorrow, if I can. I have to work on Saturday this week, although I only have to work from I can't believe I'm going to say this. I only have to work from 10 to 5:30 or whatever. So hopefully Friday night I'll be able to actually get home from work at a decent hour. I keep working super late this week. I worked till 8:30 one night, which means I don't get home until after 11. And then, or after 10, rather, sorry. I don't get home until after 10. And then, like, another night, like last night, I was working until 8, which meant I got home at, like, past 9:30. And it's just like, I'm getting up early and going into work early, so it's, and I can't sleep this week. It's just a complete shit show. So I am really sorry about not having everything nice and updated this week. I am really sorry about that. Last weekend was just kind of, Saturday was... Yeah, 26th and 27th. So yeah, last weekend I had plans all day on Saturday with some friends, from work. And then on Sunday, we were doing streaming stuff, so I was getting, more caught up in Final Fantasy XIV, and then I was playing a little 14 earlier today, but the problem is, like, God, man, I hate it. I wanna, makes me want to go back to tanking, but, hey, whatever. So anyway, let's get started on Birth Me Code. We recently lost Kira, and now we are moving on to the next thing, I guess, and we're about to be talked to by me. Before either of them could do anything else, their visions turned to the familiar fake environment once more. Me wasn't done giving them instructions. Greetings once more. I'm sure you'd rather not see me again, not after the vote and your forced witness of a dead body. I would like to remind you that there will be 5 more in total today, other than this one, so you should strap yourselves in. It makes me think of, like, what is it, that, like, Twitter? It's either like a Twitter, it's like a tweet or it's a Tumblr post or something where they're like, it's a watch company and their thing is like, strap on time. Like, the carnage isn't over yet. Far from it. Fortunately for you, now you have an hour of respite. Please use your time well. We will be heading toward more of these education rooms now. If you'd remember the room you woke up in, they're a little like that. All the me cards are hidden further inside. To progress, you will have to unlock the door leading to the hallway, much like how you've unlocked the previous one. That is correct. Another puzzle awaits you. Hopefully you didn't kill off your best puzzle solver yet, or else you would regret it now. Yeah, I don't think we did. The timer inside of Ancora's helmet read exactly 4 hours remaining. Once you've made your way inside, you will have to split up into 3 groups. You may be 1, 2, or 3 in a group. The very moment 4 people enter the same classroom, they will surrender their right to live. Each classroom has an assigned subject for you to study and a question to answer. The subject in question will be given to you personally by me after 39 seconds have elapsed since the room's door has been opened, which is also when it will close and lock. Don't you feel smarter by learning various subjects? Another smart thing to do, not opening the doors until you're ready to go in. Otherwise, it'll lock you out for 39 minutes. Please remember that once you enter a room, you will also only have 39 minutes before you surrender your right to live. Time is of the essence, and I will stop taking it from you for now. From now on, I will only appear to give you each room's subject as you enter them. I wish all 7 of you good luck, and don't forget, I'll see you later. So, this is reminding me a little bit of like all the planning and execution stuff I've done for like Doroke. With like the time limits and everything, and like, you know, the strict time limits and the plotting of the case and all. And Cora looked at the 2 others. Avaricia looked back at her. Only Tristitia had his mind elsewhere, looking away instead. Anything the matter? No, it's... just thinking. Feel free to solve the puzzle. Something just caught me by surprise. Yeah, I guess it would be a shame if the best puzzle solver would be dead, huh? Without further ado, Ancora set off to solve that puzzle and open the doors for everyone else. It's puzzle time! I miss kind of doing the puzzles. The puzzles are fun. Spell valid words around. So. Don't worry, everyone. You're valid. Oh, valid words. Valid words. Right. Oh, around. Okay. Valid words. Now that I'm in the right headspace for this, these are so much easier. Like, I know that I can, like, I don't have to move them side by side. With the puzzle solved, the doors were now operational. As the group of 3 figured out, this led to another hallway. So, are we just, like, railroaded into being in a group with Avaricia and Tristitia? Which is fine, because I think that's probably what people would have voted on, or what I would have chosen anyway, but still. From what they could see at first, it was much more expansive than the last one, since it didn't have metal plates in place to stop their advance on one side. They arrived at a split in the road. One led to the left, with many classrooms, and another fork with one direction blocked by more metal plates, while the right side led to a few more classrooms as well as a set of locked doors. If I were not looking at a picture, I would not be able to parse that. Let's have a look at the long hallway. Indeed, more interesting, I say. The 3 of them went down the hall, looking at each door. Some of them were stuck, bolted in place, while others were only closed. The difference could only be felt when Ancora pressed onto them with both hands. 3 of them are accessible. Those are the next puzzle rooms. Only 2 are down this way, though. After a while, the hallway turned to the left. There was mention of 3 classrooms, correct? I reckon the last one might be that way. I'm not so sure about that. The teacher proceeded to try peeking into the familiar classrooms to no avail. The doors were all closed as per usual, and all of them had high rectangular window covered by a metallic plate. Tristitia took the lead to check further in, at the very back, only to stop after reaching a corner. Ancora joined him, acting all curious. This is a dead end. There's a door, but it's got a lock I haven't seen here yet. Judging by where we are, the metal plates separate us from the very first hallway we went into. Thinking back to the map, Ancora knew he was correct. While they spoke, Avaricia pushed onto the doors, but they were all completely bolted down. No use for all these doors, either. They're all completely shut. I feel like I'm in like an RPG Maker game where you like, you know, the doors are there for decoration, and you can tell which ones you can actually go through, because the ones you can go through eventually are locked, whereas the ones you can't are like broken or stuck. I don't think any of these are going to unlock. It's almost like they're just walls.
Like most of them in the first hallway, huh?
He spent a moment thinking about what it meant, before he shrugged it away, motioning for the others to get a move on.
Let's go back and share everything we found with the others.
The group agreed to the proposition, and they went back to the split, where the others had conspicuously arrived seconds later, including Luxuria. After a brief discussion on what to do next, the group split back up. Luxuria, Invidia, Gula, and Superbia were checking out the classrooms down the hall. Well, the first trio went over to the closed door they'd spied earlier. Within seconds, they were standing in front of it. Much like the previous two doors, this one had a puzzle next to it. However, it wasn't lit up yet.
We might have to do another voting session to force this panel light up.
That's a guess if I've ever heard one.
It just makes sense. Everything so far has been methodically built to bar our way when we go too fast. This door isn't going to open anytime soon, then.
So what now?
Now we decide on our groups. Let's wait for them in the split.
They didn't have much time. The clock was ticking. A few seconds later, the other group joined back up with them again. The discussion about how to split up was delayed once more when Luxuria mentioned the possibility to form a voting group.
No, that's not a good idea. People grouping up ahead of time to decide on voting others out would just jeopardize the normal decision-making process.
Someone needed to chip in. So after some consideration, Ancora... I mean... Yeah, it'd be cool to take Luxuria's side and, like, get her trust all the way up. Maybe I'll just do that and knock it out of the way. I feel like it's gonna put me on a dead-end route, but you know what, who cares? Maybe it would be good. If we all group up based on who we trust most and decide on who's the most trustworthy ones, we can avoid having scuffles later on. It would also save us time.
But that's still unfair for the rest of the others who aren't part of it.
It is like condemning them to die, no? That's a recipe for disaster if I've ever seen one. Like, I agree that I think this is a stupid fucking idea, but... bad end first, man. People can do really terrible things when they're backed into a corner.
Precisely. That's probably just unfair on the rest, and it'll lead nowhere. It'll give a few of us a position of power over the rest.
Luxuria and Ancora looked at the others. Avaricia, Tristitia, and Invidia were all nodding their heads. Gula didn't seem to truly be sharing their opinion, but all she could do was give a slight shrug towards the two, considering she was outnumbered. I think... I'm a teacher, so normally I'd talk about unity too, but I think we shouldn't make a group at this time. I have a feeling I'd be excluded from it because my situation is different or some other excuse. Plainly understood. I am certain this endeavor would serve only to truly and well drive a wedge between all of our personages. She stared at her nails, making no eye contact with anyone, or helmet contact, as it were. With no chance of making any additional alliances, Ancora gave up the idea for now. For now? It's a little too dangerous when absolutely everyone is around, because who are we kidding? Of course there's going to be a vote group sooner or later. I guess that's that. What about me cards? Did any of you find any more?
Actually, we haven't.
Luxuria looked quite bothered, but only Ancora seemed to notice.
As far as me told us, we have to explore more of those death traps to find additional cards. Looking in the hall didn't give us anything. I have a theory our three teams will end up with 9 total cards again. Of course, we won't need all those cards to vote.
And the first rooms didn't even have 9 cards either. That came later. Probably the same here too. But we're going to need them to finish discarding them in the slots of that weird hexagon or whatever, either way.
Yeah, so there's no chance for us to slack off. The doors to the first rooms haven't opened yet again since we left them, so if we don't get those cards, we're completely stuck.
We should organize our splitting accordingly to our skill level then.
Balanced teams, huh?
and Cora knew what that meant. It meant that since she'd already proven herself to be smart, she wouldn't have much of a choice with whom to go. Going with Tristitia seemed out of the question. Precisely. I mean, this is pretty much like how group projects ended up being assigned when I was in school anyway. Each set had a specific individual better poised to solve these infernal contraptions. As a result, it would be best to split up accordingly to said skillful lot. Mara, Ula, and I are the ones who did the most. Really? Really? Ula did the most? From what the others said, those who did the least were Ira, Lux, and Viti. No, that's wrong. That's wrong. Sorewachigayo? And Cora interrupted him while shaking her head. In our room, Viti did a good amount of stuff. Bia bitched and moaned the entire time and barely helped. Wait, come to think of it, what is Bia doing? She's been unnaturally quiet. The entire group noticed that the girl was gone. Did she even come back with the other group? She might have remained in the hallway, come to think of it. First, let's get the groups made, then whoever ends up with her will go fetch her. Okay? Everyone was in agreement. That means we should form the teams, something like Ula and Ava, Viti with me, and the 3 others, which would be Lux, Bia, and you, Cora, would go together. Wait, you want me to team up with Bia? She wouldn't be dead! I'm aware. Maybe she won't hate you as much if you're both put in the same team. Huh, strange teams. You're putting girls with girls and boys with boys. Now that you mention it, you're right. Still, I think this is our best lineup to force some differences to fall before the next voting session. Something was definitely nagging at Tristitia. The more he spoke, the more his tone became a little detached, as if he was thinking about something. Huh. And Cora left it by for a moment because her objection to grouping with Superbia hadn't been entirely shot down. Wouldn't grouping with Ava and Ula be fine too for me? He was caught short, still halfway in his thoughts. I guess that would be fine too. I don't really have an objection. It does unbalance Bia's team, however. Then I'll take Bia with me, and Viti'll go with Lux, if that's your choice, Cora. And Cora had a choice. Either the teams would be Team 1, Ancora, Luxuria, and Superbia, Team 2, Invidia and Tristitia, and Team 3, Avaricia and Gula, or they would be Team 1, Ancora, Avaricia, and Gula, Team 2, Superbia and Tristitia, and Team 3, Invidia and Luxuria. With those group compositions in mind, Ancora went with... I'm gonna go with... I'm already on this track to become friends with Lux, so I might as well. I'll just stick to the original plan with Bia and Lux. Since we're going with Bia, we should look for her real quick. She can't have gone much further. The only way out of the wing was the way they all came in from, since anything leading further in was blocked by doors or walls. Because the doors clearly didn't have the rabbit in their surroundings, there was only one place she could be. After the bend on the left. Yeah, sure. She still didn't care much to group up with Superbia after the fiasco of the first voting session. While they deliberated about it, Avaricia and Gula readied themselves and made their way to the door closest to the group. The first one down the hall on the left. Viti and I are gonna take the second one here, and you two can get Superbia and take her back to the locked doors. There's a classroom there you can enter, I believe. How does that sound? I don't really have a preference. Invidia didn't seem in disagreement with that course of action, and Cora wasn't either, so the group started walking. However, she could tell that something was bothering Tristitia. Hey, Trist, something on your mind? No, not really. But I was thinking about epiphanies. You know what an epiphany is, right? Yeah, kinda. Had an idea? Maybe. I don't know if I can really talk about it yet, though. I'm a little bit reticent for now, since it's still somewhat baseless. So he did have an idea, then. We'll let you go for this time. Well, no matter for now, then. Lux, you okay? Ikora directed a flood of positive energy toward the partner she'd have for the next room, ignoring Tristicia's pondering for now. Yeah. Think we'll be fine, though? Blonde one nodded with an encouraging smile. We're both blonde! It wasn't like Luxuria could see it, but Ancora wished she could have. Have to remember everyone's a criminal here. Can't get too acquainted with them. Even Luxuria did something. I have a thought about Lux's character, but it's, again, kind of baseless, and I don't really have a whole lot to go off of, so it's just a vibe I'm getting. But, I will come back to that later. Despite that thought, Ancora decided to play along with Luxuria's whims for the time being. She was going to keep her friends close, and her potential enemies closer. A very short while later, Avaricia and Gula disappeared into their room. The leftover group of 4 went together further down the hall. Invidia and Tristicia would leave for the second room while Ancora and Luxuria fetched Superbia.
Well, we're going in too.
Have fun with Bia! Ancora could tell that was sarcasm. With a wave, the two of them vanished inside the room. Ancora tried to stretch her neck over to peek inside, but the door was already shut by the time she had the opportunity to do so. Let's get Bia now. Ancora could also tell that she wasn't too enthused about it. No surprises there. Very few of them were enamored with the bunny girl, if anybody at all. Good reasons. What, is she pulling the fire alarm over here? Very soon, their steps brought them to the corner of the hallway where Superbia had disappeared to. It was right next to the metal plates Ancora had previously investigated. There she was, sitting against the wall, holding her knees together against her body. Her knees are not together. She wasn't looking good. The helmet obscured her features, but it was still the first time she displayed herself in such a way.
What the fuck do you two want? Go away.
She was not in a good mood. Look, we have to go explore the rooms.
You insane?
I'm not moving from here. Things have to get bad, then let them get as bad as they'll be. I don't care. I don't think we can reason with her. Luxuria timidly spoke to Ancora. Seeing how the situation wouldn't improve if they did nothing anyway, she gave it a shot. Yeah, we should form a vote group. Ancora remembered the idea of a vote group and how it was shot down by the rest of the people. Then again, Gula didn't seem like she cared one way or another about it. Technically, they did have 3 people in it. And with Superbia, it would be 4. As much as she didn't want to think about it, Ancora believed that that could work. What a conundrum. Either not have a vote group and be at the mercy of everyone else again, or form a vote group with this, bad egg?
So what's that got to do with me?
I don't like seeing you like this. I was thinking we could include you in it. We'd all vote for the same person, and since we'd be 4 in it, then... She left what would happen up in the air, but it was clear. That did get Suburbia's attention, and soon enough she perked up a little.
Well, I guess this won't get me killed.
Ancora knew Superbia was thinking about it now. A few moments later, she slowly stood back up, looking a little reticent but willing to cooperate. Huh. Luxuria actually convinced her rather easily. It was a little smooth, too. Alright, I want to read these fire actions. It's like, don't take lifts, don't take the risk. But...
Fine. Fine, then. Whatever. Okay, I'm in.
That was easy.
Having a chance to not immediately die in the next vote has that effect, yes.
Rabbit Girl was a little less reticent to accompany the others. Ancora was thankful for that, because they needed their full team of 3 to begin with. I'm very happy about that. Let's go now. We really have to hurry to that first room or we'll run out of time. Alright, sick. Got you at 99%. We have 33 with Lydia, and that is it right now. Bell's in. Alright. The group ran back to the closed doors and slid into the room next to them. All in all, this meeting had taken a few minutes off their clock. Inside, what greeting them was the principal's office. If we find a skull in a present box in here, I will lose my fucking shit. They marveled at this room as they had never seen it firsthand. Then the 39 seconds elapsed. On the dot, their visions were all taken by me, just as the door leading outside of the room locked. I hope you remember the newspaper article from the first room you've explored, because this is the principal's office, home of the principal, the man who was arrested. Normally, it's in another wing, but that wing was destroyed in an explosion. Terrible affair, isn't it? And why am I mentioning this? I wonder if you can put together the puzzle. Anyway, your question for this room is, what crime did the principal commit? That man is a rather large link between all of you, even if you ignored it up till now. Unfortunately, you won't be learning his name yet. Kirigiri Jing. I said Jing instead of Jean. I say that, but someone in your group already knows his name since they are relatives. See? See, it's Jing Jing. If they remember it, that's another matter entirely. Maybe you'll learn it soon. Either way, that's my introduction done. Don't forget, I'll see you later. The entire speech was much shorter this time around, lasting only a minute or two. The group of the three looked at each other, trying to determine how to take that information. Let's split up then. We have this whole room to search. And Cora pointed at an opening in the wall, in the far back. And there's that area too. We should investigate that. Do you think there's another room connected to this one as part of the puzzle? What do you think would be beyond that principal's office? Beats me. Okay, let's go. The three of them split up, as convened. Superbia took the left side while Luxuria focused on the right, leaving Ancora to do as she pleased. Woo woo woo! Here we go! Okay. Let's, okay, door? That's the door we entered through. And now it's locked. That's right. Searching it is useless right now. What do you think is behind... It's a hallway! There's nothing else here. We already know what's outside, you idiot! Well, she's got her spunk back fairly quickly at least. And over here, we have a lot of binders. They're empty. And there's a green pot. Also empty. And some books. Empty. Herbia's head. Just as empty as... Hey! You tricked me! Look out, here comes Sir oh my god. Sir Amicus and his companion, Sir Hammock Vars. Together, they're two ceramic vases. This is a big mess. How are we supposed to find anything in this pile of books? I don't know. It's not just made of books either. There's newspapers, and I think I'm spying a secret journal with a lock? Really? What would a grown man do with that? Maybe it's not his own. Or he could write down his secrets, who knows? The two of them searched the books for a while, trying to find out anything about the principal. Eventually, Superbia noticed they were doing that for a while and joined them. What are you two adults doing now? We're looking for clues. In this messy pile of books. Fine, I'll look too. Guess she wants to get this whole search done and over with faster. Wonder why she changed her mind. Beforehand, she wasn't all too useful, but now she's a lot less reticent. I think it was the threat of fucking death. The three of them separated the pile into books, newspapers, and the lone secret journal. There was no way to unlock that last one, but they could at least make heads or tails of the newspapers. The books seemed largely useless. There are a few articles that might be interesting. Student murdered at school. One is the one we already saw before about the murder that occurred at school. It's marked with a number. It says 2. There's this one marked with a 7 related to the bombs that blew up parts of the school. And there's this one where he was taken in by the police marked with a 4. I think those are all the articles that seem to be linked. No, there's a 4th one. This one's talking about drugs, and it's marked with a 1. Apparently, one of the rooms of the school contained a massive amount of drugs. What kind of drugs? Is it like, you know, meth lab in the chemistry wing, or like, you know, whatever? Also, so when I was in 6th grade, my school district, you went to elementary school from kindergarten, 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th. Then from 5th grade, you went to middle school for 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th. And then high school was 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th. So they were separated into 5, 4, and 4. And when I was in 6th grade, so my 2nd year of middle school, there was a girl in, not my homeroom, but like my friend's homeroom, whose nickname was Angel. And I don't remember her real name, but her nickname was Angel because she used to keep angel dust in her locker and like sell it to other kids. My school was not great, guys. No one ever went in or out, and eventually it aroused suspicion.
And that's when that room's contents came to light.
After a second to take in all the new information, Luxuria voiced a concern. But this doesn't really help us, does it? We still don't know which of all these is the principal's crime. We should keep the numbers in mind at least. I bet they're linked to this room in general. The trio kept the newspapers close for future reference. Everything has to be 2 times. This has quickly become a mess again, even though we split them up. Guess there's no helping it. Luxuria didn't seem bothered by the mess at all. Feeling at home? Yeah. I don't clean up very often, so my room gets a little messy too. Let's see how. Alright, got a lot of shit. And this... Alright. Alrighty.
Behind this desk are some drawers. Mind taking a look in them?
Hey, you found them. Why don't you do it for a change? Kirby was about to retort, but she cleared her throat instead. Seemed as though, for a moment, she was going to act as she always did, but in the end she restrained herself.
Well, fine. I'll do it then.
With a surprising turn of events, Superbia opened the drawers herself, one by one, checking into each of them for any clue. She reached into the final one and pulled out an item.
There's a key in here. It's not like the ones before. It's missing some parts.
She showed the key to Ancora. Definitively, this key was only half of one. With only one half of a key, there weren't many locks that could be opened. Guess we'll have to keep our eyes peeled for anything that resembles the other half of a key. And we also have to find where the lock is. Maybe it opens a box?
Not necessarily.
She pointed at the hallway behind the wall, a little further away.
There's a door in there and it's locked. I think that's where this goes.
Wow. Did you quadruple your intellect in the span of 5 minutes?
Hey, fuck off! I can be helpful if I want.
Just if you want, huh?
Yeah, just if I want, shorty. Let's keep searching now. We don't have much time to waste.
Reminds me a little of Nvidia like this. Drawers. Drawers. Open and tell me your secrets.
And there. It's already empty. Stop casting imaginary magical spells. They won't make more objects appear inside.
Okay, I'm gonna open it. Small and timid girl reached for the handle. Then she pulled the door open, and inside was... Inside was a large pot of formaldehyde and a head contained within. That is really funny, and I fucking told you there's gonna be a head in here. Human head. I don't I don't think this is related to the room. Closed the door afterwards and left the desk's surroundings. Ancora watched it all happen from the sidelines, offering no comments. I better check on it again just to make sure anyway. Leaning down, she opened the door and looked into it again. It sure was a head contained in the pot of formaldehyde. It was kind of hard to tell because the hair was covering the entire side. Let's see. Underneath it, there are a few words. First, eliminate 2. Huh? Something's familiar about this presentation. Can't exactly put my finger on it. Did you hear me, Lux? From the side, an apprehensive Luxuria nodded her head to confirm that she heard what was underneath the pot. Ancora closed the door again, deciding against dragging the head outside for any extended period of time. Well, that's that. First, eliminate 2. Let's remember that. Okay, so the murder is not... Hey, Bia, come take a look at this. Here we go. Bia walked over to the desk, looking over Ancora's shoulder at what she was pointing toward. It's a closed cabinet. Peekaboo! She flung open the door, and the severed head in the formaldehyde came into view. Bia jumped back in surprise before punching the back of Ancora's head. The blonde girl fell to the ground, feeling the harsh, resonating vibrations coursing through the interior of the helmet. You imbecile! Worth it. We're all like, oh yeah, Bia's such a bitch, but like, we're kind of a bitch. And in this corner, nothing! And in the opposite corner, nothing! Of course there's nothing. All of their contents have been spilled out onto the floor. I have the same piece of furniture at home. It's where I store my panties. Oh, well, now that you bring it up, I also store my underwear in drawers like those. It's super spacious for that kind of thing. Yeah, so like, alright, underwear doesn't take up that much fucking space, guys. Like, yes, any drawer that you're gonna be putting your underwear into is not gonna take that much space. But so many in there. After a small pause, Ancora cleared her throat. Just how many panties do you have? Oh, a lot. Some of them were gifts, too. I'll just pretend you didn't imply that. Oh, Luxuria spotted the glass in front of the bookshelves, just as Ancora noticed her moving over. She called out to the smaller girl, closing the distance between them. I don't think that's going to open right now. There's some kind of electronics. Yeah, I know. Behind the glass is a bunch of books. I don't see anything interesting. Then why would it have a keypad? I don't know. Maybe there's something. Like you said, though. She dejectedly sighed. Can't open it yet. Need to gather more information to open this. I mean, I can unlock it, but it would look real shady if I did. They'd immediately realize something's wrong. Let's talk. Yeah? Do you know what's linking him to us? It's kinda weird. I mean, he's clearly important in some fashion, but I just can't imagine what's going on. I don't know any more than you do, honestly. I'm trying to remember something, and it just won't come out. It's like I'm this close to actually realizing something important, and I can't even fucking do it. No, I can't remember much either. This conversation again, huh? No, wait. She snapped her fingers. The principal. I remember now. He's a rather important man. His name is... No, I can't remember that. I remember... B? B something? Ah! My last name starts with B, so... I can't remember anymore. It's just a letter. Boyd? No, that's not right. I'm sure you can remember more in due time. Our amnesia can't be permanent, right? Like Vidi imagined, it's just gotta be a side effect. Your desire to waste time is incredible. You have any clue about what the answer to this room might be? I'm still piecing that together, to be entirely frank. Even if I was right, I don't especially relish the idea of exposing myself to a potential death, mind you. That sounded a little like Ula talk right there. Excuse you? I am not a cow. I mean more about the way you worded it. Never mind.
Your desire to waste time is incredible.
Well, let's go back to the search.
Sure.
Lux. Is anything amiss? I was wondering if you had any thoughts about the principal himself. Seems like his involvement with us might be a lot deeper than we first imagined.
I don't know.
I can't remember anything about him. For some reason, though, when I hear principal, I imagine a big, muscly man. You know, like a wrestler? I don't know why. I just feel like principals are large men with imposing physiques. Very solid guys with rich-looking clothes, a little tight but not too much, with a tie and a pair of glasses. I see. Wait a minute. Fucking Gonta's not a principal of shit. Seeing how Luxuria was straying from the question, Ancora tried shaking her out of it. I know it's supposed to be like, in-universe supposed to be like she's like thirsty, but that's clearly a fucking Gonta reference. Come on, man. Earth Deluxe, are you here? She didn't get an answer for another few seconds. Oh! Right. Well, anyway. Ancora couldn't tell if Luxuria was daydreaming about that description or if she'd just been mentally scarring herself by imagining it. Could be both. If you want to know his name, I don't know. I can't remember what he looks like. But I feel like that man must have been a daddy. Wow. That was a way to put it. That makes enough sense. Most people get families. I know for a fact he had one. Someone in this group of 9 is a relative too. Maybe we should get back to the search. Any progress or ideas on how to proceed with the question? Well, I think we should first compile all the possible crimes he could have committed. And then we just need to eliminate each that isn't the one we're looking for. And we'll have the answer with the remaining one. Interesting. Process of elimination, huh? It's my favorite way! And Cora felt a slight shiver course through her spine at that tone. Well, that wasn't creepy at all or anything. What's the matter? Hey, Cora, answer me! Oh, sorry. I guess I was just taken aback. I didn't think you had this kind of method to deduce things. Luxuria giggled a little bit at the dumbfounded girl. I don't get why process of elimination is a big deal. Like, who cares? Process of elimination is a good way to do a lot of things. It's how the scientific method works! It's process of elimination. Tee-hee! I might be cute, but I can think too. Maybe we should get back to the search. You're right, let's get back. Last one to find something new is a rotten egg. There's a door here, and... wait, we still only have half a key. Hearing the girl talk about a key, Luxuria came into the little hallway in the back of the room. Oh, you mean half like this one? She showed the item to Ancora before the blonde girl took it to add it to the other half, busying her hands while they spoke about it. Yeah, that's exactly it. Well, where did you find it? I don't remember. How do you forget something like that? It doesn't make any sense to me. Just don't remember, okay? Maybe it was in a drawer or something. Well, whatever. This works anyway. Let's see. The count of 5. 4, 3, 4, 5. Hey, wait! Where did you come from? Furbia had joined the two of them out of nowhere. Without a word, she gave an annoyed sigh and snatched the key from Ancora's hand, hip bumping the girl on over to take her spot, and inserted the key into the keyhole, turning it to unlock the door. No more dumb countdowns. We have a whole other room to explore, so let's get going. Our time's diminishing by the minute. Yeah, that is how time works. Now the group could use the little back hallway to go to the next room. Oh, Jesus. Fucking steampunk. I also like that, like, in these things, the principal just, like, straight up fucking lives at the school. I also like, hold on. I like these Hiruma boots right here. This is really funny to me. Also, I don't know why, but like the art in here is making me think of those like, what is it, like find the object games or whatever. God, love those. So bad.
You know, I'm really freaked out by this room. Who the hell would have a bedroom in a school?
Maybe it's a replicated one, not the actual one. Duh. That must have been obvious. Then again, you don't expect Pandora to be able to do something like this, so I can't fault them for not thinking about it.
I just wonder about the reason for replicating all these rooms.
Maybe it's so that we feel at home? I don't feel like Pandora would want us to live here, though. We only have 6 hours in total, more or less. If either of you want to search this bed more, feel free. I'm gonna check the rest of the stuff in here. It all looks so interesting comparatively.
Yeah, sure. Leave the people with the lesser stuff, won't you?
You feel like someone who leaves people with the lesser stuff, so that's your purgatory now.
Came back to check on the peasants, didn't you?
Yep.
I am not a peasant, you idiot.
I don't care what you are. I care about what you found. If you found anything.
There was this piece of paper with a diagram. It's giving a bunch of hours, and I don't get it at all. Just take it. I'm gonna sleep here a little.
In the middle of an investigation? Didn't you just say we didn't have much time before?
A girl needs her beauty sleep.
So I guess this is in here. With anything yet? Let me guess. These contain nothing too. No, they contained a piece of paper. Look, it says, finally, eliminate 1. That sounds pretty important to solve this room, if you ask me. I think I'm getting the hang of this now. Let's pull it with the other important stuff we found. There's a dictionary on the top shelves above the bed. To be more precise, it's a dictionary in arts? Who would read the dictionary in small-time literature? Wouldn't that get absurdly boring or something? Wait a minute. Why not stories about unicorns? Why not indeed? Do you have a clover thing here? Oh, I get it. Yeah, you're the clover of this game. Okay. Judging by the look of this place, I don't think whoever lives here would read stories about unicorns. What? You can have steampunk unicorns? Get the fuck out of here! Or you suck. There's a thesaurus in here, too. Oh, you should take that back for Ula. Is that some kind of dinosaur? So, the Thesaurus Rex? You mean the Tyrannosaurus Rex. A thesaurus is just a dictionary for obnoxious people. Says the one who wrote a VN. On top of the drawers are a bunch of candles held by unnecessarily complicated candlesticks. Better not spill it over, everything in this room looks flammable. This is why an arsonist would have a field day with this place. Can you imagine the fun you'd have if you loved to burn things here? Destroying this entire handcrafted antique room? Are you telling us that you are also an arsonist? Is that... What about this wardrobe? Won't unlock. Neither the left nor the right door works. I think we have to do something else first. Small girl crossed her arms, rather put off about her investigation yielding no results. Just have to figure out what to do with it then. This is still locked. Looks really cool though. Mirror, mirror on the wall, who is the bitchiest of them all? Cora glanced over at Superbia. The bunny girl was taking a nap on the bed. She's even already asleep, huh? That saves the need to feed her an apple. I can barely see myself in the mirror when I'm up close. Me too. We're too short for normal people mirrors. Not a little high, actually. Kinda. Someone tall must live here. Taller than me, at least. Oh, that's the recording. The moment I stepped in here, I knew this clock was cool. After admiring the clock for a short moment, Ancora pulled out the piece of paper with the hours on it. Slowly, she adjusted each clock hand to the hours, minutes, and seconds indicated on it. Wait, how come I don't get to do that as a puzzle? Seeing how a few combinations didn't work anyway whatsoever, she gave up, not understanding what was wrong.
Tried all 3 combinations?
The bunny spied onto the paper Ancora was holding, one Superbia herself had found. None of them work.
Try adding them together.
Cora tried that, but she saw no result. She was about to give up, but after a few seconds had passed, a small click echoed from a nearby piece of furniture.
Wait, looks like it unlocks something else. Let's investigate that.
Brad had already left the surroundings by the time Ancora realized that the clock itself opened too. Inside was an object, waiting at the very bottom. It was a golden key. Perfect! Now maybe we can get that journal open. Yeah, and keep talking to yourself out loud, too. Good idea, Ancora. I don't know, I do that. Now isn't the time for this. I don't have time for this. Time for this has passed. So, when I was in undergrad, I had a creative writing concentration in my English major. So I was an English major with a creative writing concentration and Japanese, the minor in Japanese. And I had to take a playwriting class. So you had to take script writing, poetry, and fiction. And then you chose your favorite of the 3 to take as advanced. And I did fiction, right? Because that's my thing. But in the script writing class, it was a lot of fun. You had to write like a 1-act play. And I actually ended up winning an award for the play that it won like a contest, which was pretty cool. And then the like drama club on the campus actually like performed it in real life, and it was really cool. Like a lot of people were able to come see it, and it was really fun. It was a lot of good times. But anyway, so one of the other guys in the class was writing this kind of like Meet the Fockers-esque story, and he was, well, not Meet the Focker, I guess Meet the Parents, whatever the first one was called. And in it, like, first of all, he always wanted to cast me as the crazy grandma. And 2, he had this line in there where, like, the dad, who was, like, you know, kind of like the antagonist or whatever of the protagonist, who's, like, he's going to his girlfriend's house for dinner to meet the family for the first time, and, like, the dad's really imposing and scary. And at one point, like, this, like, uncomfortable subject comes up, and the protagonist is like, how about some pie? And, like, the father character goes, son, the time for pie has long since passed. And it's just, I still remember that. Even, like, God, like 15 years later? Like, Jesus. No. How many times can I do the same pun?
This is where I heard the click from. This thing should open now.
And just as predicted, the doors flew wide open after Ancora tugged on them. She hadn't expected them to open nearly this easily, so the force she put in made her fall down right onto her ass.
Ow! Hey, watch out!
My sensory inputs deceive me? Did she just care for someone else?
You almost bumped into me.
Oh, okay. Inside's another one of these pieces of paper. This one says, second, eliminate 4. I wonder what that's all about. Clearly, they're directives, but I'm not sure if we have everything we need with this. Well, let's keep looking around longer. We need to open the diary. Do. Here. The diary. Oh, I have to, like, look at her. Golden key on the journal. Using the key she found on the clock, Ancora opened the journal. Looking through the pages, she looked for any hints, but it was clear this was purposefully left blank for the most part.
Find anything in it?
Not yet. Pages are blank. Superbia tried swiping the book over to give her own cursory search, but Ancora avoided her by quickly shifting to the side. She was nearing the end anyway. The most interesting page was the penultimate one, on which some words were written, accompanied by a large periodic table of elements. It says, I'll get them for what they did to you, Dad. The very final page, third, eliminate 7. This is all very important stuff. I'll have to keep note of it. Note of the latter part, at least. First part is not related to the answer to this room. It's just that this principal has a daughter.
Someone with daddy issues, huh?
Wow. And and 5 days before Kirigiri's birthday.
What's with the periodic table? Ugh, so dumb.
Inquirer closed the journal back up to resume her search. So it's not the student, it's not terrorist attack, it's not the bombing. Only a bedroom. Father clock. Hours written. Second one. Alright. Okay, so the first one you have to do is you have to take out number 2. So it's not eliminate the student murdered at the school. Okay. And then you have to second eliminate 4. Eliminate the one about the principal being arrested. Then eliminate third eliminate 7. Eliminate the finally eliminate. I am not 100%. Look at what am I supposed to be doing? Oh, here we go. It's to get into this. Durr. Alright, hold on. Let me actually look at what this keypad looks like. The trio approached the bookshelves. I think we can open this now. We found a few pieces of evidence with numbers on them, and this keypad takes numbers. Oh, I want to do it! What's the code?
The code has something to do with the numbers. Remember 7, 2, 1, and 4?
Yeah. So what's the code? Her tone was a little more demanding now. When she stood beside the keypad, it was clear she wanted to input the number. Well, we had indications before, too. How did they go again? Something about elimination. So, first, eliminate 2. Second, you eliminate 4. Third, you eliminate 7. I mean, I can try that, like... There you go. The answer was 2471. Okay, I was thinking it was gonna have to be like a math puzzle, but apparently it was just this. Inquirer communicated the answer to Luxuria, who immediately input the combination, making the glass door open slightly. Now the group could access the books inside.
Huh. I thought the numbers were for... Hey! Look inside! There's some me cards!
Luxuria had already swiped one and gave the other one to Superbia. However, since there were only 2 cards, it left Ancora without one. There was something else inside, though. Ancora managed to grab a key out of the bookshelves from behind the other books. Its teeth are in the shape of a G. Shape of a G, huh? And there's something else. There's a piece of paper inside. I bet it's related to the question. Pulling it out, she read it over and then showed it to the others. Apparently, she had no idea what it meant. If you eliminate those 4, what is left? That's what it says.
Feels like this time around, we don't have a lot of possible outcomes, huh?
Yeah. It's pretty simple for a question.
Huh?
Huh? What's simple? The answer, I think I have it.
Even I could deduce it. Why was this room a hell lot easier than the first fucking dumb room we've been in? Whatever. Let's gather at the door when you two are ready.
They're right anyway. Paper has everything to do with the question. What was the second thing we found? Oh, right, yeah. G. You eliminate those 4, what is left? So, here's the thing, is like... nothing, right? Like, it's so that... the thing is, the principal's innocent, is the answer, right? Like, I'm not crazy, to show. Wait, I don't know what the answer is!
Then don't answer the door! We'll have a 100% chance of living, too.
No, I mean, I'd like to understand the process. Oh, well, it's rather simple. She shrugged, motioning over to their combined finding. There's some stuff in there that most likely can be used for multiple purposes. All we did, at least I'm assuming Superbia came to the same conclusion as mine, was apply that knowledge. Smaller girl scurried off to the papers, trying to make heads or tails of it all. A few moments later, she called out to the duo. The crime the principal committed was... the bombs? He was the one who set them off as revenge for getting arrested?
No, wait. That's my conclusion, too. It's the only thing that makes sense based on everything we gathered.
No, that's wrong. She shook her head a little. Principal didn't set off the bombs. That's most decidedly someone else. I guess I'll just answer then. It's simpler that way.
No objections from me.
None from me either. The two of them waited with bated breath as Ancora stepped forward and yelled as she did before.
Let me out!
The principal's crime is... nothing. Nothing! He did not commit any crime. For a moment, it seemed like the answer was wrong, but the door came unlocked very shortly. The two other girls realized the breath they'd been holding.
What? What kind of fucking answer is that? We searched through this entire place. We got a list of 4 crimes, 4, and then the answer was no crime?
Exactly. Eliminating all the numbers to open the bookcase wasn't the only use for the indications we found there. I forgot to tell you, Lux, but there was also 3rd eliminate 7 that I found inside the journal. We just didn't keep track of it on a paper or anything. So your reasoning was good. It was just ignoring part of the solution.
Well, let's get the fuck out of here then. Everything's unlocked, so let's live.
Timer's going down, but we were fairly fast. Let's go! The two of them left, followed by Ancora. Probably one of the simplest rooms in here. Perhaps even the simplest one altogether. But this is interesting, isn't it? While this answer should have come as no surprise, we now have introduced other crimes into the equation. Crimes the principal didn't commit. Of course not. The reason is that my emptiness is to blame for all of those crimes. Furbia, Luxuria, and Ancora emerged into the hallway. That's where we're gonna stop for this time. Alright, everybody, thanks for joining me. I'm gonna go ahead and head back out to the main thing. But thank you very much for joining, and we will see what happens next time. Alright, thanks, and take it easy, and have a good Thursday, and hopefully I'll be able to upload some stuff to make up for missing Tuesday, Wednesday this week, tomorrow on Friday. So, I will see you guys later. Bye!